All right, everyone. We're now going to get into Think, Grow Rich. Think, Grow Rich. It's the first edition, third printing, 1937. Like I said, only it's going to be under 2,000 copies now. Under 20,000 copies. This is about a $600+ book, maybe 1,000 on a good day. I only got it for $3, but we're going to read a little bit from it. We're going to have some knowledge from it, and we're going to have some fun. I haven't read anything from it before. I read the book before, but I haven't even read anything from this before. What do you want most? Is it money, fame, power, contentment, personality, peace of mind, happiness? The 13 steps to riches described in this book offer the shortest dependable philosophy of individual achievement ever presented for the benefit of the man or woman who is searching for a definite goal in life. Before beginning the book, you will profit greatly if you recognize the fact that the book was not written to entertain. You cannot digest the contents properly in a week or a month. After reading the book thoroughly, Dr. Miller Reese Hutchinson, nationally known consulting engineer and longtime associate of Thomas A. Edison, said, this is not a novel. It is a textbook on individual achievement that came directly from the experiences of hundreds of America's most successful men. It should be studied, digested, and meditated upon. No more than one chapter should be read in a single night. The reader should underline the sentences which impress him most. Later, he should go back to these marked lines and read them again. We're not marking up this book. No way. A real student will not merely read this book. He will absorb its contents and make them his own. This book should be adopted by all high schools, and no boy or girl should be permitted to graduate without having satisfactorily passed an exam on it. This philosophy will not take the place of the subjects taught in school, but it will enable one to organize and apply the knowledge acquired and convert it into useful service and adequate compensation without a waste of time. Dr. John R. Turner, Dean of College of the City of New York, after having read the book, said, "The very best example of the soundness of this philosophy is your own son, Blair, whose dramatic story you have outlined in the chapter on desire." Mr. Turner had reference to the author's son, who, born without normal hearing capacity, not only avoided becoming a deaf mute, but actually converted his handicap into a priceless asset by applying the philosophy here described. After reading the book, starting on page 52, you will realize that you are about to come into possession of a philosophy which can be transmuted into material wealth, or serve as readily to bring you peace of mind, understanding, spiritual harmony, and in some instances, as in the case of the author's son, it can help you master physical affliction. The author discovered through personally analyzing hundreds of successful men that all of them followed the habit of exchanging ideas through what is commonly called conferences. When they had problems to be solved, they sat down together and talked freely until they discovered from their joint contribution of ideas a plan that would serve their purpose. You who read this book will get most out of it by putting into practice the mastermind principle described in the book. This you can do, as others are doing so successfully, by forming a study club consisting of any desired number of people who are friendly and harmonious. The club should have a meeting at regular periods, as often as once a week. The procedure should consist of reading one chapter of the book each meeting, after which the contents of the chapter should be freely discussed by all members. Each member should make notes, putting down all ideas of his own, inspired by the discussion. Each member should carefully read and analyze each chapter several days prior to its open reading and joint discussion in the club. The reading at the club should be done by someone who reads well and understands how to put color and feeling into the lines. By following this plan, every reader will get from its pages not only from the sum total of the best knowledge organized from the experiences of hundreds of successful men, but more important by far, he will tap new sources of knowledge in his own mind, as well as acquire knowledge of priceless value from every person present. If you follow this plan persistently, you'll be almost certain to uncover an appropriate the secret formula by which Andrew Carnegie acquired his huge fortune, as referred to in the author's introduction. Yeah, that's all we got for now. Um, One more tribute to the author from Great American Leaders. I got one for you. Think Grow Rich was 25 years in the making. It is Napoleon Hill's newest book based on his famous Law of Success philosophy. His work writings have been praised by great leaders in finance, education, politics, and government. Supreme Court of the United States, Washington, D.C. Dear Mr. Hill, I have now had an opportunity to finish reading your Law of Success textbooks, and I wish to express my appreciation of the splendid work you have done in the organization of this philosophy. It would be helpful if every politician in the country would assimilate and apply the 17 principles upon which your lessons are based. It contains some very fine material which every leader in every walk of life should understand. I am happy to have the privilege of rendering you some slight measure of help in the organization of this splendid course of common sense philosophy. Sincerely yours, I think it says Taft, former president and chief of Robert Taft. So this is Think Grow Rich, first edition, third printing, 1937. Awesome book, rare book, expensive book, valuable book. And I'm happy to have shared this with you guys today. Hopefully, you guys read this book, the revised versions, if you have not before. So thank you for that. That was awesome.